Hi, I'm QDC. What we're build today is Verlinden Productions U.S. Tank Commanders World War II, and also we're going to build Dragon's Kampgruppe Peiper. This set of figures from this particular model box. I'm not going to build the Panzer IV, not quite yet. Now the reason why I'm building these two kits today is because I'm wanting to make a diorama of the Battle of the Bulge. I'm going to make what is known as Operation Griffin. Now during the Battle of the Bulge, Hitler had an idea which he called Operation Griffin. His idea was to gain key positions in the Ardennes area by having his own German troops dressed up as Allied soldiers and using Allied equipment such as tanks to gain the positions that he wanted. Now he couldn't get all the tanks that he wanted for his task, and so they had to improvise. What he done was he basically took the Panther tank and make it look like an Allied tank. So that's this particular kit right here, Dragon's Ersatz M10. So this is going to be a three-part process. The first part is that we're going to build the figures today for this video, and then the next video we're going to build the Mini Arts Country Road, and then the third and final video we're going to build the Dragon's Ersatz M10. So let's go ahead and start building this set of kits from Dragon right now. Here are the completed figures. The kit had 4 figures, but I didn't need the 4th figure. All these 3 would work for my diorama. They're really nicely detailed, and the only drawback from this figure set is that there were large seams that connected the arms and the torso. So all that green stuff you see right there is just simply putty. But other than that, it's a good set of figures. Okay, so we finished building the figures from Dragon, and now it's time for us to build these figures from Verlinden Productions. Let's go take a look inside this box. We have one plastic bag containing resin parts for the 2 figures. It's time for me to paint the figure. It's time for me to paint the shadows. I want to focus your attention onto this old print. If you take a look at this man's suit, you notice that there is subtle shadows that's drawn by the artist. And how this artist done the shadows is that you notice that there's dark shadows over here, and as it gradually goes out to a crease, it lightens up. And I'm going to mimic that onto my figure. I'm painting the shadows. It's time for me to paint the highlights. Focusing your attention back onto this drawing right here, you notice that this man's suit, right where there's a crease, right in the center, you notice that there's a bright highlight. And as it gradually goes to another shadow, you notice that it darkens up. And I'm going to mimic that onto my figure as well. I'm painting the highlights. I finished painting the faces for both figures and they look good. Now, I couldn't show you through the camera how I painted the faces because it's really next to impossible for me to paint behind the viewfinder of a camera because the faces are so small. But I can tell you with words how I painted the face. Here's an old advertisement. And I want to focus your attention on to the man's face. The artist drew the man's face by giving shadows underneath the eyebrow and a little bit underneath the eye. There's a shadow right over here underneath his nose and the nostrils, and a little bit underneath the lips and on the chin. And there are highlights on the bridge of the nose, on the cheeks, and then there's a light shadow right over here on the sides of his face and a little bit right over here as well. And I mimic that onto my model figure. Alright, so we built the figures, we painted it, and now it's time for me to show you all the figures in its entirety. Take a look. These are the completed model figures after painting. And I did a good job painting all the figures. For those of you who watch my older videos, you might have noticed that this diorama, this base, and the building right here is a mini art product that I made a video for a while ago. So for those of you who haven't seen it, you're more than welcome to take a look at it. It's on YouTube. So going back to the figures, again, I did a good job painting the figures, and I like the Verlinden Productions figures, these two guys, the best, because the uniforms are much more crisper and the facial expressions are better than the dragons. But really, all the figures are pretty nice, and I do recommend all the figures for you to paint and build if you like to, if you're into figures. That completes this model project. What you'd like to see next is a video slideshow of the completed model project. But before I go, as always, just because I put this video here on YouTube, it doesn't make me a model kit expert. I am not an expert. I'm just a regular guy just like you. So for part 2, we're going to build Mini Arts Country Road. So please stay tuned for that. I'm QDC. Thanks for watching.